Our next guest says he suffered through years of back pain and 2 unnecessary back surgeries until he's finally getting some relief. Dr. John Krage is with San Diego Spine and Disc, and Gene Figueroa is one of his patients. And Gene, we want to get to your story, almost immediately. This is really an incredible story. You say one of the worst you've seen.
Absolutely. Gene came to us with multiple symptoms, had a couple of failed back surgeries, and as a result of that, he was just looking for some hope in his life, that life could be turned around. And we're so grateful that he came to us, and we've got Gene with us to kind of talk about what actually happened in his life.
Yeah, and your approach to healing, truly integrative. I mean, Gene, we were talking, he's been to umpteen doctors, orthopedic surgeons and physical therapists. Talk about, before we get to his story, talk about why your approach is different than other doctors.
The reality is that you can go to a physical therapist, get physical therapy. You can get to a surgeon, do surgery. You can go to a podiatrist, have foot care. There's multiple factors. It just so happens that as an orthopedist, they get all of those in one office. So we're able to really have a multifactorial approach to really helping people get well. And with that, and also including nutrition, those people really have an opportunity to build a foundation that they've never had before. And many times, even after surgery, they've never had the post-surgical rehabilitation necessary to really get their bodies back on track. So Gene becomes a perfect example of what people go through in life and really never get the answers for getting their life back on track.
Yeah, I mean, they're told by these surgeons that, oh yeah, back surgery is going to cure you. You're going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And your problem started when you were 13 years old, didn't they?
Yes. I slipped and fell on some rocks at the beach, and I fractured my tailbone in L3 and L5. And then for years it had hurt me. I continued working in a hospital for about 10 years, lifting patients. Well, I slipped and fell again in my mid-20s, and I had to stop working in the hospital and had to almost stop working altogether. But I'd always taken good care of myself, so I stayed in pretty good shape. But I decided to have a back surgery in 1999. It didn't make any result, didn't have the results that we wanted. And then I had another back surgery in 2004, and I just ended up feeling worse. So ever since then, I've been looking for ways to get better and feel better.
And then you saw, one day, you're watching San Diego
Yes.
Living, and you saw Dr. Krage.
Yes.
And you've been going to him for 3 months now.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel like myself again. And, I had always taken good care of myself, but the vitamins, the program that he recommends, foot adjustments and orthotics, the different treatments and modalities that they use there have made a huge difference.
Yeah, and Dr. Krage, you came up with the 7 keys to spinal healing, and that's, Gene's referring to some of the 7 keys, and the first key, spinal foot orthotics. I mean, it really all starts in the feet, doesn't it?
It does. The fact of the matter is we're all going to die someday. We're all getting older. The fact is, how do you want to live, though? What's the quality of life that you want? Unless someone kind of intervenes and helps to this aging process slow down, especially after we've had surgery, it really creates some problems. Now, Gene's given me the option to share this with you, but I'd like you to show this to you. Here's where Gene's surgery began. So we can see this on his back right here. Okay, and as a result of this, I just want you to know it's created a major problem mechanically in his spine. Now, what I'd like you to turn around, Dean, if you could just have a seat right here. I'd like you to look at the x-ray right here. And we'll focus in on this real quick.
And what are we seeing here?
Right here, these are the metal. He's got literally a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 lag screws into his spine that is trying to stabilize the last 4 segments. You can see those screws here also. And I just happen to have brought a copy of one of those screws. Can you see that in my hand right there?
He has 10 of these in there?
He has 10 of these right in his spine. Now, the fact of the matter is, this is a vital young man. Younger than myself, and he'd like to have some functionality. Many times we can stabilize it, but now you have another 30 or 40 years to live. What are you going to do with that? Yeah. Although these are stabilizing, the fact is that it's put all the energy of these bones to the one above and this one below. So here's what a spinal foot orthosis. Now this is a demonstration of another x-ray. This person's had a surgery where they cut off both of his hips, but here's what I want you to see. Right here at the spine, you see how he's off side to side right there? He's not level. He's off side to side. So like the alignment of a car, you continue to wear on the disc on one side, and as a result of that, it creates more pressure on the discs, especially those who have been herniated.
Now, if you could, Dr. Krage, point out exactly what we're seeing there again, because that's a critical point, isn't it? I mean, you know, after the surgery, he was supposed to feel better. Everything was supposed to be good, but you're talking about this part right here, how it's crooked.
See how this side is high? A very common problem we have with complete surgery of the hips or our knees is that one side is cut off more than the other. And as a result of that, you see how this side is high and this side is low.
So what do you do to fix that?
So this is my invention. This is called the spinal foot orthosis. And if we could get maybe I can just bring this up here. So if you look at this, I'll actually put it in as it's implemented. So one side here is thicker than the opposite side.
So this side's longer. It has a couple more layers of the padding.
Correct.
Here, I'll hold this one.
Right.
And you hold that one.
And so what we can see here is what we accomplish here is that by raising up the hip on the low side, it levels the spine just like aligning the car. And so now we stop wearing on those tires. In your case, it's a herniated disc or a disc degeneration.
So that side has one more pad, one more, about 1/8 of an inch than this side does.
Frankly, I have one client right now that the surgery was 1.5 inches off side to side. And he's now 1.5 inches bigger now that we had to accommodate over about 6 months to get him there.
And that's, you invented these spinal foot orthotics that they can be adjusted, and if you need to put more on. But that's just the first of the 7 keys, right?
That is correct.
What else are you doing to fix Gene?
The second phase, and we can't go through all 7 keys, but the second phase is what we do is a spinal decompression. And what we have is a unique opportunity is if I'm going to show you here close up where I can show you a herniated disc. So I'd like to show, this is an example of what happens. So if you watch this, you're going to watch something poke out here. See how that sticks out right there? And what that is, let's see if I can do it here. Okay, there we go. So right here, what that is showing a disc that's herniating against a nerve. So I'll let that come back in. Spinal decompression literally has the ability, non-surgically, to pull that disc back into place. I'll show it one more time. If I push that out, that's a herniated disc pushing against the nerve. And then with spinal decompression, we slowly pull that back in, non-surgically, and with the other 7 keys, alignment, nutrition, rehabilitation, that person not only gets well, but is able to stay that way.
And and you're doing spinal decompression, traction on Gene.
That's correct.
Right.
He's gone through all 7 keys. What did you do the last 2 weeks?
I went golfing last Sunday, 9 holes with my wife, and that was a huge change for me, and that was an enjoyable experience for me.
Well, congratulations. You've been going to him for 3 months.
Yes.
You have been golfing, I'm sure, for a while, and we were talking. You had trouble just getting out of bed for several years. So, Gene, congratulations, and thanks for watching our show, and we hope you continue to get better, Dr. Krage. Always a pleasure. Great information, and you have a special too.
Got a special.
First 25 callers to call you.
First 25 callers. There is hope in your life. You can change. We can help you. It's really you have to make the first choice, though, to make a phone call. It's the first 25 calls who get a chance to meet me and have this experience of turning your life around. So it's right there on the screen, 621-5520, and I'm ready there to help you.
619-621-5520, or they can go to the website, 7keystospinalhealing.com. All right. Thank you very much. And, of course, for more information, you can always go to our website, san diego6.com, and click on San Diego Living.